Oh, I am Dan Stapleton, and with me is Jared Petty.
Greetings.
And we're looking at the Star Wars Battlefront trailer that E3 showed off, or some footage, not exactly a trailer, kind of an early concept thing. We do get kind of our first look at. Well, they didn't actually show gameplay, which was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it was more of a montage of how they put the thing together. They really didn't show a lot except the process that they went through, and they went to great pains to show that they're treating the project with some reverence.
Yeah, you got your probe droids, and this is all that they show is all original series, original trilogy characters and vehicles. But you got Stormtrooper, Vader, Boba Fett there. Yep. That's all Empire Strikes Back. Well, I guess the Stormtrooper is wearing some gear from A New Hope.
Yep, that's New Hope gear. We've got Boba Fett with his custom carbine there. We saw a Viper Pro droid a second ago. All kinds of fun stuff already.
But these are all physical like toys and models.
Yeah.
We're going to see the not in-game versions actually. We'll get to that. I got a T-47 snowspeeder.
And then people walking dramatically into an office. Always very exciting. And
not wearing bathing suits, unfortunately.
Oh, there we are. That looks like a fully armed and operational battle station we saw. Oh, once again.
Another physical model of a T-47 snowspeeder. Physical models.
Stormtrooper helmet, all kinds of things. AT-AT Walker, R2-D2. Just looking at all kinds of stuff. And they're making a point that they're coming in here into the museum and photographing this stuff so that they can reproduce it in wonderful fidelity.
And look, they actually went to a snowy place.
Yeah, look, snow. People walking in snow. Now, you be careful in these places. If you trip, then Obi-Wan Kenobi will appear, and you'll end up having to go to Dagobah. So you got to be careful to stay on your feet.
So the breaking news here is that EA does know what snow looks like.
Yes, they do, and there it is. Look, behold.
And they took their toys to the snow as well.
Well, it looks like they understand that for some reason in the history of Star Wars video games, having a good Hoth level seems to be what people remember, so they're jumping straight to that.
Well, I mean, there are only two recognizable battles ground battles from the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy.
That's true. You've got Hoth and Endor.
Yeah,
right?
Hoth and Endor. And so in the original Battlefront and Battlefront 2, they had to kind of extrapolate. They did some Tatooine stuff. They did some Yavin stuff, and kind of made up stuff.
But here we see them walking around environs that we're very familiar with, and I'm glad to see this. I mean, I'm glad they went with the original trilogy. Frankly, I could care less about most of the Clone Wars stuff, and so seeing this is very exciting for me.
So this stuff, what they're showing here, is all labeled as in-engine footage. Mm-hmm. Be careful of in-engine footage, because in-engine can be. I mean, it looks gorgeous. It looks like it's right out of the movies. But in-engine is not necessarily gameplay. It could be just like, here are some high-quality cinematic models. We're playing around in there. They don't have to be careful about performance to make sure everything runs smoothly when they're showing these high-polygon models on screen.
That's an excellent point, Dan. In-engine can be anything in software right now. Right. That engine may change. Oh, is that a Blastech DL44 or is that a DL18?
It looks like the 44, which is Han's model, which is modified as well. But
I think that is a modified DL44. I think you're right.
But yeah, like the detail on that model is pretty extravagant. There's no way that's what everyone would carry if they're actually playing. Here's like a gorgeous render of a Stormtrooper like this, like it's photorealistic. Like you hold that up, it's like you probably think that's a photo. But and I really like how they even get some dirt on the helmet, so everything isn't like squeaky clean. It actually looks like maybe that's the kind of wear you'd see on a Stormtrooper on Endor, for example.
Right, yeah, and you see some of that in the films. You'll see that perfect white get smirched a little bit here and there. So I like the way that looks. I agree with you.
But again, there's no way that is the quality of the model of that you will actually play.
If there were, my heart would explode from my chest.
Right.
Nonetheless, I do think it's probably going to be a good-looking game. There's a lot of reason to expect that.
It absolutely will be good-looking, I'm sure. Yeah. But you just have to look at it's not going to look like that.
Yeah, the AT-ST Scout Walkers walking along there together in the world's emptiest planet.
Yeah. But you just have to look at what Battlefield 4 looks like. I think is probably a good gauge of what your expectation should be for how good this game's going to look. Somewhere between what we're looking at now and what we just saw. I do love AT-STs, just the way they move. I like the way the animation is shaping up in those really early shots.
Yeah, I like the sense of motion there as well. And here we go. Oh,
yeah, like this is again they're saying early in-engine footage. That is not what it's going to look like. I'm sorry, it's just not.
Very, very unlikely. I agree with you, Dan. However, I do love the sense of motion we get here, the blurring. I hope they manage. The fact that they're paying attention to these in the cutscenes means they'll try to translate as much of that as they can. Technically, into the engine. And
actually, one thing that I love about this little clip here is, wait for it. No, not quite. Not quite. Right there. So this little puff of smoke, like that is like right out of a Star Wars movie, because they had all the practical effects.
Yep.
Where they set off these little squibs that set off these big billows of smoke. It doesn't seem realistic or anything. It's like if you look at, I think like the prequel trilogy didn't really have that kind of thing, but that kind of big billow of smoke there.
It's very Star Wars. It's what you expect to see when you're breaking Princess Leia out of the detention unit. That's what happens when a wall explodes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I hope that's a kind of a emulation of a physical effect that they'll really bring into this game.
Again, it seems that their trailer's designed to help us understand that they're treating the project with almost reverence, and I think that's appropriate for Star Wars.
It's definitely reverent.
Yeah, so I'm good with that. And it's what are we backing up to look at here?
I'm just backing up while we're talking.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
it's funny to watch a speeder go backwards.
It is kind of funny to watch a speeder go backwards. I wonder if they have a reverse gear. Never saw anybody try. But yeah, I do
think like the original Battlefront games had a bunch of prequel trilogy stuff blended in to kind of pad them out and add more content, because there really isn't that much ground combat in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that we're going to see sequel trilogy stuff in this game, because by the time this game comes out, we will have seen Episode 7.
Oh, that'd be exciting.
So I'm sure they're going to add a bunch of content from that. Maybe some prequel stuff here and there. But that's what all the kids are going to be excited about when this game comes out. So it won't just be Hoth and Endor and Tatooine.
I'm thrilled at the prospect of Battlefield 3 returning and being able to re-explore some of those environments, see some new ones as well. And I want to see what they're able to do with a few years of design sensitivity and some upgraded visuals. But I'm particularly interested in things like, I don't want to see Darth Vader floating anymore. Let's come up with a more creative solution than that. I think they're going to do a lot with it. There's certainly potential.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm Dan Stapleton, and this is Jared Petty, and this has been our look at the Battlefront, not Battlefield, Battlefront E3 reveal trailer.
So, thank you.